Yo, this is Neville Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
What's up, Cowboys Nation?
What is up, Cowboys Nation? First of all, good morning. The season has finally started. We get out of preseason just what we want, healthy. Of course, Overshown that would be remiss to say that's an unfortunate one, but overall, we came out healthy, and yeah, it's the last preseason game. I know it don't mean anything, but shoot, man, we came out with some momentum and a nice win too. So you don't like that 0-3 thing. So at least, hey, we ended with a win. We get things rolling. So just want to say good morning to everyone. I appreciate everyone joining in. I see Angelica, I see Aaron, I see Raymond, I see Troy. Man, we got the crew here, Vince. So we're gonna have a good time, man. We're just gonna talk a little Cowboys, just chilling. You know how we do it on Sunday, man. It's laid back. We got some questions. We'll get them in the chat. We'll just shoot the breeze a little bit, as they say. So let's just get started with we get with a positive. The positive last night's preseason game. You know Will Greer. We're going to get into Trey Lance. I'm sure you guys want to share your thoughts and get into that. But I mean, you got to give that man some credit. He played kind of like what we hoped that we'd see from him, but we really didn't see a lot of that. But seeing him compete, seeing him under a circumstance where he knows he's going to get cut, but obviously he was playing for somebody else and hoping to get some looks. So to see that, obviously, it just shows the kind of person he is and the kind of competitor. So we do wish him all the best. I remember him coming, from Florida and then going over to West Virginia, had a good college career and just, drafted by the Panthers and just never really seemed to get everything together. So hopefully he'll get an opportunity somewhere to get that going. So what's up, Steve? What's up, EJ? And then, Luke, the fullback, I put a tweet out. Hey, man, he might have just shown he made the team, and maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I think what you saw in him is for me, the one question I've always had at running back is, do we have that tough guy to grind it out, short yardage, get those nasty yards? Because it's nothing against Pollard. I think Pollard can do that if the Cowboys want him to. But the problem is, do you want Pollard taking that punishment, or do you want to keep him fresh? It's a long season. We're hoping for a long playoff run, right? Been a little too long for that. So I want to see someone. Now, maybe Rico's the guy, but I liked what Hunter did, man. He had some nice catches out of the backfield. He got some dirty yards, ran hard. So it was kind of good to see. And it just leads to, it's going to be, I mean, the Cowboys are going to be in a difficult spot because they got a lot of talent on this team. I'd probably say it's the most talented team since, I hate to say it because everyone calls me that, the 90s. And I just think the depth that they have at all these positions, it's going to be hard. And yeah, Dak calling the plays, that just goes to show, the type of quarterback he is. He knows, he's smart, he's intelligent. He did a hell of a lot better job than Kellen Moore did. I'll say that. But I think, listen to McCarthy's press conference, that was a way to keep Dak involved. He didn't play at all in preseason. He's been already, doing all the film and getting all the study for the Giants game that's going to be coming up. But this was an opportunity to get him as part of the game and get the feel of the game, even though he's not out there. So I think that was definitely, a good move. I don't know if they've done that before, but with any quarterback. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, we're going to get into some of the 53-man roster and things like that. So let's see what we got. Let me get this thing rolling. We'll add this up, but definitely put your comments in the chat and we'll get this thing going. But looking at the roster, and again, I'm no expert, so I apologize, but I'll say this is it looks pretty good. It looks like we're going to have a hard time. Now, I put in yellow, I mean, the no-brainers to me of guys who are making a team, and I may not get every guy on there, but then you've got the ones in white, and it's you're going to keep four running backs. Do they keep five? Do they, Lupke, does he show up on the practice squad? Because you got to remember, man, in order for one of these guys not to come back to us, someone's got to put them on the roster. And I don't know Davis and Lupke if they'd end up on someone's roster if we were to cut them. So you've got that practice squad that's kind of inflated some. So they do have some opportunity. I think receiver, you saw a lot of receivers showing a lot of potential, but I think your locks are going to be Lamb, Cooks, Gallup, Tolbert, and Turpin. Now it's a matter of what you got behind it. Yep, Brooks, I think he showed a lot. I'd probably take him over Fiocco if it were me. But that remains to be seen. And I think tight end Ferguson and Schoonmaker are your locks. I think Hendershot is too. I think McKinnon. I think they're going to keep four tight ends. I think all four of them probably make it. The only intriguing thing for me is if they went three tight ends and maybe added Lupke as that extra running back, fullback kind of thing. That could be a possibility. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the offensive side because there's just a lot of talent and there's only so many spots. I see Angelica talking about the kicker. So what did you guys think? You seen Aubrey, you see him there. He missed a 59-yarder, which, I mean, it's not the end of the world there. He came back and made another one, hit all his extra points, which is important for us after we saw Maher. But are you good with him? Do you want to start with him, or do we just need to bring somebody in quickly? And you saw Mason Crosby, you see some of these veterans, but you got to know, man, these veterans, they've been there, done that, but some of them didn't do so hot. There's a reason why they're not employed right now either. They either have rough patch or whatever it is. So I would probably take a veteran if it were me, only because I think you know what you got, and then maybe you got Aubrey on the side or something like that. But these kickers are so mental. They're so everything goes through their heads. You got to treat them with kid gloves sometimes. So it sounds like from what McCarthy said, they're going to go with Aubrey and run with it. But I tell you, you don't have, I mean, we all know how important kickers are. I mean, these games come down to the wire. Every game's coming down to the wire. So it's, I hope they know what they're doing. We've always been a little funny when it comes to kickers. So we'll definitely see what happens there. And then on defense, there's a lot of question marks. There's a lot of question marks with us as far as with some of that depth. And I just think with the the line, I think you got a lot of guys set, but my man Gallimore and Golston, Bohanna, I think Junior Fiocco, I think he makes it. So it's just a matter of how many they want to keep. Linebackers, you see Bell and you see, Izzy, I think they're going to be treated like a hybrid linebacker safety. So they've got a lot of flexibility. So they may not keep a ton of linebackers. They may keep them all. And then cornerback, you obviously Diggs, Gilmore, and Bland. Goodwin, special teams guy, but he's getting up there, and maybe they see value with another guy that might give him some ability at cornerback. And so maybe you get Joseph. Thomas looked really good. Scott, he's a rookie. They were high on him. You got to think that he's probably got a shot. But again, you look at the 53 you got, and then who can you stash on your practice squad that no other team is going to pick up? I have Red Wine, man. I'm hoping Red Wine. I didn't see. I don't know, man. I'll be upset. I'll be upset if you don't make it. You got to get a guy from the U on there. You got to get a guy from the U. Harper, he was one of the guys I noted. So definitely, Christopher, he looked good, especially last night. I think Mozzie, looked good. Mozzie, for some reason, I don't know about you guys, man. He gets a lot of heat. And I know it comes with the position, comes with the pick. And, but I don't know. I think he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. Calling a guy a bust after 2 preseason games might be a little premature, but we'll see what happens. And then, I think to Clarence will be taking some players from other teams. If they do, it's got to be focused on the offensive line, because I think you're going back, and that offensive line is a little. little scary sometimes. I think Richards has a lot of upside. I saw someone in the chat talking about Richards. I think he's a guy that's there. Well, let's go. Just injuries or anything else, he just hasn't really been able to get going. I think Bass. I saw Nate Newton talking really high at Bass, so maybe he's another guy, young guy, rookie. Ball, he got hurt in the game. Hopefully, nothing against him, but hopefully that's his final game with the Cowboys. Um, and we'll see. But yeah, I mean, to Ulger's point, I think the Cowboys got some trade options too with some of their linemen. Maybe Gallimore gets traded. Maybe they trade some of their other depth guys. Receiver, I don't know if they'd be able to trade anyone because I just don't know if there's. I mean, receivers have become kind of a dime a dozen. Yep, Harper in, Cox is out. I mean, Jabril Cox played pretty well in the preseason. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's on the team either. It's youth, and sometimes you want to keep some of that youth, with the Cowboys. But and like I say, it's a good thing. So it's a nice problem for these Cowboys to have some talent on this team to make these hard decisions. And so it's good. But let's get to something. I was out. I didn't get a chance to really talk about it. I was at my daughter's first high school cheer game, so my focus was elsewhere. But my phone's blowing up and getting these text messages and the Cowboy haters, texting me, some friends that, oh, here we go, Dak's in trouble. Oh, they got, how can they do this? Dak's on a hot seat and all this and that. And it's like, Jesus God, man. That's what it is, man. It's the Cowboys. We live in this bubble of just chaos, and everything is put to the extreme, and everything's a problem, and everything. I mean, why can't you go get a quality guy with some upside with little investment of a fourth round pick, and you're getting a guy that let's not forget San Francisco traded 3 first round picks to move up to get him. So this kid obviously has some talent. Things didn't work out well for him. Injuries were probably the biggest part of him not working out in San Francisco. He wasn't terrible in some of his games, but to Ulter's point, you're 23 years old, and he's got a lot of upside. And let's just be honest. I mean, Dak's missed some time with injuries, but more importantly, we all know Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush is nice, but he's not going to take you to the promised land. So why not, if you get an opportunity to upgrade and get more depth at the most important position on the team, is why not do it? And I hear distraction. It's not fair to Dak. Well, he's a professional, man. If bringing in somebody is gonna hurt him mentally and bring him down, then he probably shouldn't be the quarterback of the team. Every position has competition. Every position you want to upgrade. If we would have got a cornerback, a top flight cornerback, or a top prospect cornerback that was looking for a new home, we all would have been, jumping up and down and doing backflips. No one would have said, well, what about Diggs? I mean, you're going to hurt his feelings. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. This is football, man. These guys are professionals. I mean, you saw it with Will Grier. Will Grier knew he was cut. When the Trey Lance trade happened, Will Grier knew he was cut, but he went out. He didn't cry about it. Maybe he did after the game. He was sad to leave. I don't blame him. But he went out and played a good game. Played a good game to show what he's capable of, to show the team, other teams looking for a quarterback, what he's got. So, it works out well. Of course, if Dak, I mean, it's, Jerry Jones even said it. We don't want, you don't want to see Trey Lance on the field this year. I mean, that means everything is going well. Dak is healthy. We're playing good, and there's no problem. And, oh, by the way, Cooper Rush is going to be your second quarterback. I mean, Trey Lance, he hadn't even gotten here yet. I think he gets here on Monday. So everyone in the media is going to have their fun with it. All the haters are going to do whatever they want. And, it ain't going to be no more of a distraction than everything else is. So I don't know if you guys agree with it. Do you like the Trey Lance? I saw some things on there. Some people like it. Does anyone hate it? Does anyone not like it? Any angry Cowboy fans out there that are all pissed off? Let me know. But I think it's a good move. I think he was in San Francisco. Shanahan is an offensive mind. He learned a lot from him. He's just got to get some playing time. Is a total bust. Now, yeah, I mean, he's a bust right now, but We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. The funny thing is last year the Philadelphia Eagles were begging and pleading to get Russell Wilson. So I think they probably thought their quarterback was a bust too. We're not going to be able to get the job done, and then he ends up doing something. And now all Eagle fans are bowing down to their knees to Jalen Hurts. So it's interesting how it all works out. But like I said, Dak's the quarterback. Nothing wrong with having a good backup. So we'll see what happens. I just think it's a good move. It's a good move for the Cowboys. He's got to stay healthy. But like I said, he's not getting thrown in. There's no pressure. There's no pressure for him. Like in San Francisco, you're the third pick. They traded 3 first rounders for you. Everyone looks at you as a bust and this and that. He gets a fresh start, and maybe a fresh start is what he needs. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, going back to the Cowboys. So the kicking situation, we talked about it. Are you guys confident in the kicker? Do we need to? Do you guys want to go out and see Crosby coming in? Do you want to see is our Robbie Gold still out there? Is a veteran that you guys would prefer to bring in? It's one of those things though. It's like, man, the season starts in a couple of weeks, so they better hurry up and figure it out. But listening to Angelica's not confident in our kicker. She wants him out of here. Listening to Mike McCarthy, listening to Jerry Jones, it sounds like that this is the way they're rolling, and they're going to roll with Aubrey. But like I said, it's an important position, and a lot of games come down to a field goal. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens if he starts missing a couple here and there. The Cowboys will be scrambling. Aubrey going to be the next Dan Bailey. I hope so. That's the last time we had a consistent kicker that was here for a while. It seems like we do a year here, year there, get someone in. I wouldn't mind seeing a guy coming in. And Aubrey, played in the USFL, so he's been active. So it's not like he's been sitting on a couch somewhere. USFL runs right up to the NFL. I mean, you saw it with Turpin last year. We got Turpin in. So sometimes those things work out. And it's going to be interesting. So let's see what I missed from Clarence. Brett Favre was a bust too in Atlanta. Yeah, he was. He was a guy I liked to party. So, and then his career turned out pretty good. So it's always interesting. For San Francisco, he's a bust. I mean, he's a bust. For us, he's a 4th round draft pick. So let's see if he's a bust being a 4th round draft pick. If he is a contributor, if he progresses, and if he's someone to where if we've got an injury or something like that, then it's an opportunity to see what happens. So I agree with you. These guys are different quarterbacks, Rush and Lance. I think Lance brings something different to the game, and you look at it, his mobility. That's what a lot of people are looking at. I would take Cooper Rush over Lance any day. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would or not. I probably, if you're asking me today in the Cowboys offense, if God forbid Dak Prescott got hurt week 1, I would probably be going with Cooper Rush, but I would have a plan to get Lance ready because I just think the upside with Lance is there. Cooper Rush, you got to remember, and again, no knock on Cooper. I thought what Cooper Rush did last year saved our season. I mean, he went 4, he's 4-1, but don't forget the defense played absolutely lights out. They played lights out in every game except the last one. It wasn't like Cooper Rush was in this big, and actually they played good against Philly. Cooper Rush, I think, had 3 turnovers if my memory's right. But, the defense against Joe Burrow, I was there for that one. I mean, they shut down Minnesota and their offense. The Giants on Monday night. So he was a benefactor of the defense. And I think what happened was the defense saw Dak Prescott going down, like, hey, we've got to step it up. We've got to be even better than we are. And they did. And they won those games. Now, Cooper Rush is a quarterback. He's going to get the flowers and he's going to get a lot of the credit. But go look at the numbers. If you want to look at the numbers, it went down, 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 down. There's no upside with Cooper Rush. He's a game manager. He's a guy that can stop gap. He's not going to lose the game for you, except for the Philly game, of course. But he's going to be consistent and get you some of those games. So if that's what you're looking for, then have at it. But if I got an opportunity to pick up a guy with some heavy upside, who again was a third overall pick. It wasn't. I mean, it's not like this guy was some scrub. There's a lot of teams wanting him, and one traded 3 first-round picks for him. I'm going to take a shot with a 4th-round pick. I mean, what do you got to lose? I mean, what do you got to lose? So give him an opportunity. Let him learn from Dak. Dak's a great leader. He's a great mentor. He's a team guy. It's going to be a good thing for him. And if it doesn't work out, then he goes to packing. And what did you do? You lost a 4th-round pick. So, I mean, yeah. Anyway, it's not a big deal. So let's see. Rogers to Favre vibe. Sounds like you're the one smoking too much weed, Ultra. Yeah. Is that an Eagle fan? I can't tell. Ultra, help me out. So help me out if that's an Eagle fan. But I mean, Dak is 30 years old. He's still a young man, but let's just be honest too. Dak lost a season with injury. He lost 5 games last year. There was another year. I think he had a shoulder injury the last couple games. I think so. He's battled some injuries himself. So I don't know about you guys, but if a player goes down, I want to make sure that we have the best option for someone to step in. And Trey Lance could be that guy. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But I don't fault the Cowboys. The interesting thing was the Bills were in the mix for him. The Ravens were in the mix for him. They got some franchise quarterbacks too. So pretty interesting how that worked out. So yeah. Yeah. Hey, an Eagle fan hanging out in the Cowboys cave. I love that. I love that. And I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do because it just shows how much you love me and love the Cowboys. I have never spent 1 minute in an Eagles show, podcast, whatever. So I give you credit, man. You're a closet Cowboy fan. I gotta love that. I gotta love that, and definitely appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully, you're a subscriber. If you didn't, you guys make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share. I'm looking forward to this season when we drop another 40 on Philly. It's always fun. I've never gone to a Cowboys game and walked out disappointed when we play Philly. So I'm actually appreciative of all Philly fans coming into the cave and hanging out, and I hope you come out and hang out more. Just don't come in on Sundays. We do all Cowboys on Thursday. Got a lot of interviews. The funny thing is I've always reached out to Philly. I've only had one former Eagle on the show that was man enough to come in. All the other all the other former Eagles, when they hear it's Cowboys, they're like, "Oh man, I'm not doing it. I'm not going in there," because they know what's going to happen. They know, they got nothing to say. They got nothing to say because we slapped them around all the time. So it's always fun to see. But yeah, so no, it's cool. I love Philly fans. They're always great. And it's a lot of fun going to AT&T and walking out with a victory every time we play it and seeing the heads down, the Philly fans with the little wing ears and all these other goofy things that they have on. It's always fun. So anyway, what are you guys thinking for the season? We are getting this thing started. We're getting this season started. We're going to be, Sunday night, just like Dallas does. This isn't no 12 o'clock, kickoff like some of these other teams do. We're prime time. We do prime time every season opener. We're always at either Thursday night or Sunday night. That's just the way it goes. So what is your thoughts going in to the opener? You seen what the Giants do. You saw what they did last year. They went up, got a good, picked up a good linebacker. I mean, that was a nice pickup for them. Didn't really cost them a whole lot. 7th round pick. Be honest with you, I'm not sold on the Giants. Now, I'm not going to hate on them. Well, let's see. Your team does what? Yeah, it counts in the playoffs. And how many Super Bowls you got? You guys got embarrassed every single time. 1-3. 1-3. What a freaking loser. 1-3. But that's what the Eagles like to do. They want a participation trophy. So, Bobby, send me your address. So I'm going to send you one of those ribbons, like a second place ribbon for you. So make you feel good at night. But what are you guys thinking about the Giants? I'm not sold on the Giants. I think the Giants are, I think they're due for a disappointment. I think a lot of things worked out well for them last year. I think the schedule worked out well for them. I think, they had a lot of close games, lightning in a bottle, catch some teams off guard. I'm not sold on Daniel Jones. I don't think they got the receivers. I don't know what, the running back Barkley, he's never really played big against us. He's always had like one play, but I've never seen really big things from him. So I'm expecting Dallas to go in there and handle their business pretty easily. I hope it's 42-10 Cowboys. I would really like that. But I think it'll be maybe a little closer, but I'm hoping you say 42-10. But I just think the Cowboys roster and I think their offense, I think especially their defense is going to be something to that's going to be a problem for a lot of teams. So thinking about it again, going back to the roster just to kind of change gears. What about a running game? So we've talked about it. You've got Pollard. That's a given. I think Vaughn, which I put on the roster, I think he's obvious he didn't play, so that's a given. Rico didn't play, so usually when they don't play the last preseason games, you pretty much know those guys are locked in. So you've got those three. Do you take Malik? Do you take Lupke? Do you take both? What do you do with Jones? He's suspended for 2 games, so I mean they could probably cut him and bring him back, or I don't know what you do when they're suspended, but I guess they don't count as a roster spot. So what do you do with the situation at running back? I'd like to see Luke on there. I think with Malik and Rico, I think you were going to take one of those. I think each one brings something different, right? You got Pollard, who's going to be he's your dog. I mean, he's going to be the man. I think with Vaughn, you've got something there. You got something there that you can work with. Um, I think with Rico and Davis are kind of they're kind of close. So, you got Lupke. So you think they're going to just keep 3 running backs, or you think Jones he's going to make the roster be in the 4th? I just don't know. I don't know. I'm not feeling Jones. I don't see the upside. I don't see the upside with it. And Lupke did look good last night. So but again, they're playing a lot of guys that they're not full time, they're not number ones. But I like what Pollard brings. I think you pick either Rico or Malik, which looks like Rico's your guy. I think Vaughn is going to be your kind of home run hitter, your gadget guy that you can bring in, to get some touches. And I think Lupke is the guy that when you're up and you need to grind it down, when it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and short, when it's goal line, that the stuff that Zeke did really well. Zeke was really good on short yardage. Zeke was really good with goal line. So I think where are you going to make that up? And Pollard's capable of doing it, but do you want Pollard to take that punishment? I guess that's where I'm going. So I think between Malik and Luke, I would, if you're going to keep one of them, I'd probably keep Luke in there because then that gives you some flexibility, with your tight ends too. If you wanted to, you got 53 guys, so you kind of move things around. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think that's going to be it. And then receiver. I mean, what do you got? I mean, Tolbert. Tolbert locked up number 4. But after you get beyond Tolbert and number 4, what do you really have that you're feeling good about? So you've got your 5. Turpin's going to be there. Fiocco to me just didn't really show a lot. Brooks, I really like. Drummond had a nice game last night, but I don't know if he's going to get on your roster. I think he's the guy that you could stash away. So it's just really going to be interesting to see what the Cowboys do. Are they going to take 6, obviously keep 6 receivers, and which one is going to make it? Fiocco's kind of been here a while. I think we all know he is. What are you really gonna what are you getting that you don't know already? So I would probably take Brooks because I think he brings something a little bit different. So it'll be interesting to see how that works out with them. But again, it's good problems to have. Good problems to have. Yeah, Turpin's locked in. Brooks number 6. I would be good with that. I'd be good with that if that's the plan. So it would be good to see. It'd be good to see. And do you think Johnson? I mean, that's someone you probably can stash on your practice squad. I mean, again, you got to think of who are you worried about other teams taking. That's why I say with Lupke, he showcased a lot, but I don't know. Another team would have to put him on their 53-man roster, and I just don't know if another team's going to do that. I don't think another team is going to see that. I don't know all the teams' rosters. I don't know their depth, so you just don't know. But I think Lupke's a guy that I think he should be on the 53. But if you stash him, you might be able to you might be able to stash him in there with no problem. But I just think if you get those 4 running backs, each one brings something a little bit different. Lupke with pass protection, that's the other thing I didn't even mention, but I jotted that down. He had some good, he had some good blocks in there protecting Greer in that game last night. So I think that's another positive thing. I don't think you should make the team because of it, but it's an added bonus that we all know. I mean, we love Deuce Vaughn, but he's 5'5". I don't think he's going to be blocking any linebackers or anything like that. Didn't really see much from Rico to do that. Pollard, he's never been a great pass protector, but hopefully he's getting better with experience. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, O-line, talking about our O-line, if healthy, I have zero issues with our offensive line. I think it's going to be one of the better offensive lines. Where the problem's going to start is when the injuries start. You got Tyron. It's not if, but when. Martin's usually, very durable. Tyler Smith, shouldn't be an issue. Biotis, no problem. Steele coming off an injury. I know, listening to Nate Newton, he was very high on Richards. Has had a good camp. He's a guy that they've got a lot of hope for at North Carolina. The rookie Bass was one of those free agents that they got. Was Lecco is the guy that always is, his name's out there, but injuries kind of seem to always rear its ugly head on him. So I think it's a matter of if there's someone else out there. But offensive line is not easy to find. I mean, it's going to be a problem finding someone, especially now. So it's almost, you got to roll with what you got. Now, the thing I'll say is with the offensive line, it got better during the games. You saw that, and continuity is really important. Again, not one starter on our offensive line played all preseason. I mean, you pretty much saw the backups there. So they're getting a lot of experience. A lot of them were rookies or didn't get a lot of playing time. So I think it's something that it comes, it takes time. So I think eventually it's going to get better. I think the offense is going to lend itself to that. The Texas coast, the way McCarthy and Schottenheimer are going to want to, run the offense. It's quick plays. It's get the ball out, get the guys in space. So I think if your offensive line starts to get a little shaky with some injuries, I think you can do some play calling to adjust it. You've got a lot of speed. You've got a lot of playmakers. You got a veteran quarterback. So if teams want to start blitzing the hell out of you, it's like Parcells told Romo one time, you're going to be begging them to blitz at one point. You're going to figure it out. You're going to beg them to blitz because you're going to kill them. And we've got the receivers in the skill position to do it. So that's what I'm feeling about the offensive line. I think the coaching can offset some of that. And really, let's see. Let's get in the chat. Let's get in the chat and see what's happening. Asim Richards might turn out to be our best draft pick. No, I mean, he's looking good, and I got firsthand view of him when my Canes played North Carolina, and they beat the hell out of us. So we'll see what happens. Steven, good luck. See how it paid off for you guys last season. Are you still cracking on my Eagle fan? Leave him alone. Let him have some fun. He knows there's no Eagle content creators because all they do is follow the Cowboys and copy the Cowboys stuff. So let's show the man some love. He's a guest in our home. He's seen one Super Bowl in 57 years. Just, let him be, man. Just don't be too hard on him. Don't be too hard on my man. He's coming out. He's giving us some support in the channel. So I always got to show some respect to some of those guys. So if they get too hard on you, Bobby, man, you let me know, man. I'll call the dogs off for you. So, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, so the offensive line, that'll work itself out. So defensive line, looking at that, you got Hankins, you got Mozzie, you got Osa, the interior. I feel good about that. I feel very, very good about that. You got, someone's going to go, whether it be Gallimore, Bohanna, you got Golston, you got some guys at Fiocco. So you've got some guys that, there's only so many seats on the bus. So someone's going to be sitting out. It seems like it was Gallimore and Bohanna fighting for one spot. So you saw Gallimore out there. You saw Bohanna out there. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Me personally, I would love to see Gallimore But I do have a backup plan in case Gallimore gets cut or traded. I've got a new guy lined up to do the intro, so he'll do a great job. So I got no worries about that. You know, our pass rushers, I put those on there. I think all of them are there. I don't think we have any issues with any of those. I mean, we're going to be. I mean, our defense. I'm excited. I'm excited about this defense because it's going to be a problem for a lot of teams. And I think starting with the Giants and then really, the home opener with the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, that's going to be a nice test for our defense, especially our defensive line, because the Jets' offensive line has been in trouble, and it could be a very, very bad day from a man, Aaron Rodgers. He may want to have a little injury or something like that. So I appreciate it, Bobby. Thank you for subscribing. Help a brother out, man. It's we all love the love, and so show some love to your boy. If you're not a subscriber, any of you guys, that'll be my plug. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, share. We do a lot of Cowboy. If you're new to the channel, we do a ton of Cowboy player interviews, a lot of former players in. We just had Mike Sherrard in, who was a first-round draft pick for the Cowboys. Told an interesting story that he was issued. His number when he got drafted, because I saw this one picture because I only knew him as 86. There was a picture of him in an 88 uniform, and he said that he was – they gave him 88 when they drafted him. That was his number in preseason and this and that. And at the last minute, they switched it to 86. So the funny thing is if he stayed 88, Michael Irvin was there. He got drafted a couple years later. He would, and Sherrard was on the team. Michael Irvin wouldn't have got 88. I mean, the 88 club, there might have been a different tradition or it might have been a different history. So it was a great interview with Mike Sherrard, and just to hear the adversity and the comeback, coming, two neat serious injuries to his legs, and to come back and have a 11-year career, win a Super Bowl, unfortunately with the Niners, but being in that 92 championship game on the other side, hearing some of the stories of what the Niners were thinking about the Cowboys, and then going to the Giants and having some great careers, being their number one receiver. It's really one of those stories of NFL. He had a dream, he had a drive, he had a passion, and he didn't let injuries and adversity stop him from reaching his goals. So definitely, if you guys hadn't seen that interview with Mike Sherrard, it's one of those cool things, man. Like I said, man, you're chilling at work or you're driving in a car, you pop it on, but some great stories. So definitely check that out. You can look at our playlist, and we've got so many other ones, and we've got a lot more. We got a lot more in the hopper, so we got a lot more coming on. So definitely, if you're new to the channel, Sunday I always get a lot of new people. Go back and look at some of those things. You can see the playlist. We have a lot of fun with it. Had Daryl Moose Johnston on. I mean, my man Eugene Lockhart's been in and out. I sent him a picture. If you guys saw a post, it took me a little while, but he had this starting lineup figure, and I found it. And so I sent him a picture, and then he called me back. He's like, "Man, you now got the baddest mother effer in that Cowboys cave." So he's a lot of fun. So we got a lot of good things going on. So definitely subscribe, keep up with us if you haven't already. So, wrapping some of this stuff up. So now you've seen the preseason, you see everything going. We did a little prediction. You guys in the chat, first of all, make sure you hit that like button if you're watching now. But what do you see with the Cowboys? What is the record? Be legit. Don't be too much of a homer. Don't be too much of a hater. But you see what the Cowboys have. You've seen this roster. You see what they do. You've kind of see what's going on. I mean, what is the prediction with the Cowboys? I'm going to stay true to my word. Kelly and I did it a few weeks ago, right before preseason, or maybe in the first preseason game. I can't remember. I went 12-5. Cowboys win the division. Kelly I think he went 13-4, winning the division. But what I loved about Kelly is he had the Eagles 9-8. So I wouldn't go that far. I didn't have 9-8. I do have the Eagles finished second and making the playoffs. But I'm seeing a lot of 12-5, 13-4, 11. Probably 12-5. He's old school with the schedule, with the 11-6. 11-6 from an Eagle fan. So second place. So he, as much as he hates the Cowboys, he shows some respect. 11-6, that's respectable. I tell you what, if you talk about the NFC East, Eagles included, we got a tough schedule. I mean, the NFC East is playing the AFC East, which they're no joke. I mean, they're good from top to bottom. The Eagles got to play the Chiefs. We got to play the Chargers. We pretty much, those are the different games. Except we play they play the Bucks. We play the Panthers. They play San Francisco. We play Seattle. So I mean, it's going to be the Cowboys and the Eagles and the Giants. I mean, we got a tough schedule. So it's going to be when I'm seeing 12-5, that makes me feel good because I think they're going to be better than their season last year. And that's why when I first did it, I was like, man, maybe they'll win 11. I wasn't too far off from my Eagle fan, but I thought they'd be a better team. I just thought the schedule, I mean, it's going to be a tough schedule. You're going to Buffalo and Miami back to back. Buffalo up in the cold. Miami, it'll be Christmas Eve, so the weather should be really nice, but that's tough back-to-back games. And as much as we hate the Eagles, you got to respect the Eagles. I think that's going to be we're both going to have our work cut out for us in those games. Washington, they got the new coordinator. You got Bieniemy. I mean, you think they've won the Super Bowl on some of these preseason wins, but I mean, they're playing with some juice and some fire. And sometimes those teams, man, you got to be careful. They feel they got nothing to lose. No one's expecting anything out of them. I think Washington is going to finish ahead of New York. I think New York is going to be in last place. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I think overall, I think the Cowboys are the best rounded team in the NFC. I think it's close. I think you can make an argument with Philly, but I think San Francisco. I'm still not sold on Purdy, and I got a steak dinner bet with my man Malik Rozier of the U. He says that Purdy's going to have a better season than Dak, so we got that bet lined up. The steak dinner in Tampa, maybe at either Burns or Ocean's Prime. We're gonna figure out a spot, but I think I'll win that one. But I think Dallas. San Francisco's defense is good. I think, all right, if you want to call them a wash or you want to give one the edge and the other edge, so be it. But I think offensively, I just think Dallas is better offensively just from a skill position than San Francisco. It's close. I mean, I'm not saying we're that far ahead of them, but I think overall Dallas is there. I think when you get to the AFC is loaded. That's why I'm kind of happy we're in the NFC. All those quarterbacks that gave us fits and nightmares are in the other conference, so we don't have to worry about that for a while, unless we're in the Super Bowl against them. But we'll see what happens. So it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, I agree. Giants, I think they're gonna take a step back. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. It is gonna be a lot of fun. The football season is here. No more preseason. We get a week off, and then the hype starts. We get things rolling Sunday night. You can't get it. Things can't get any better. The worst thing I hate about football is the offseason. And the NFL, to their credit, has made the offseason almost non-existent because they drag out the draft, they drag out this, they do the schedule. Everything is going to be going to be good. Now, yeah, my man Booker, if you want to go to a great game and you want to ensure victory, you go to the Cowboys Eagles game at AT&T because your boy's there. And like I said, I think I'm 5-0 or 6-0 watching the Cowboys and Eagles play, and that's going back to Texas Stadium too. So the history goes back a good way. But it's been a nice run from a Cowboys against the Eagles. I always do that. And yeah, if you got the Cowboys Nation hype shirt, the Mike Tag hype shirt, make sure you're wearing it. Make sure you wear it under your jersey. That's going to bring you the good luck. If you don't have that shirt, then you need to be DMing me. And I told some of you guys, I'll send you a damn shirt. We still got a few left over. I don't have a ton left over, but I got a few left over, and I was giving away at stadiums and things like that. So if you don't have the shirt, hit me in the DM. Let me know. I'm specific on sizes. I don't have every size, but I'll get something that works for you. Because we got to get the mojo going. We got to get the juice going. We got to make sure we get all the good karma going. And more importantly, if you are out at AT&T for the home opener against the Jets, make sure you stop by the Cowboys Cave tailgate party. We are going to be having a good time there. I talked to Eugene Lockhart last night. I mean, he's looking forward to it. We're going to have a lot of fun. You got my man, Cuts by Jones, one of our great sponsors, is going to be out there working the grill. I've already sent the tent. I've sent everything over to Mark. He's storing it up. We got everything ready. All we got to do is gonna be up all night, camping out for a spot. But we will do that, and you guys will get noticed. We'll put it out on social media where we're going to be. Kelly K9 and I and the rest of the Cowboys Nation crew going to be there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to get this season started the right way, slapping down the Giants, coming home, have a little tailgate party, and beating the hell out of Aaron Rodgers, and finally, kind of exercise some of those demons that have been hanging around for so long. So make sure you do that. And then my man Cuts by Jones is going to be giving away one of your choices. You get one of these badass pieces for your Cowboys Cave. He does great work. If you need anything custom, he does it. So make sure you guys show some love to him as well. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. So we'll see. I don't have any Dak shirts. So anyway, yeah, if you need a shirt, my man, all you gotta do, I'll mail it to you. All you gotta do is DM me. You guys know my social media on either Facebook, Mike Tag, Instagram, mtag1993, Twitter's mtag1993. Just email me what size, email me your address. I'll throw in a little padded envelope. It don't cost nothing, and I will send it out to you. That's all you got to. That's all I need you to do. If you do that, you got the shirt. Don't need anything else. I take care of the people that take care of me. So hopefully you guys are liking, subscribing, and sharing and spreading the word, because we have gained so many new subscribers. I think we got 150 in the last month, and expecting to do even more. The hype videos are coming. Kelly's going to be doing his thing. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun in the season, and we're going to have a lot of fun on this channel. We got a lot of former Cowboys that are going to be coming in the cave. So you definitely want to tune in. We got our fantasy football show Tuesday night. We're going to be doing our live draft. We got five subscribers that are in this year's draft, and we'll open it up next year and change it up. You got the whole crew in the Cowboys Cave with Kelly, Disco D, Mikey, Vince, Jason. Everyone's going to be in on this draft. So we're going to have a good time, and we're giving the winner gets a championship ring, a Cowboys Cave championship ring in a case to display in your Cowboys Cave to show that you are the true champion of fantasy football. So make sure you guys check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we have so many things going on in the cave, so many good things happening. So just make sure you guys, stay tuned and see what happens. So is there anything else on Cowboys' mind? I mean, what other topics are we looking at? Let's see. Yeah, well, now the thing I'll say, Ultra is negative. He came around. I don't know if he's going to admit it on here. He came around and said he was wrong about Tolbert. He backed off. But, you have a section. You got a population of Cowboys fans, and there's nothing wrong with it. Every fan base has it. You got your positive guys. Maybe I'm probably going to be your example of your positive guy that I expect to win every game. I expect the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl every year. I'm that kind of fan. I don't watch us thinking we're going to lose. I'm not going to watch us to be negative. If you're on the Cowboys, you're a Cowboy. Trey Lance, you could probably find some audio of me making fun of him, making fun of the 49ers for drafting him, making fun of all this. But he's a Cowboy now. So everything I said in the past doesn't matter. I love him. He's a Cowboy. So I'm rooting for his success. So that's that kind of fan. Then you got your middle of the road fans that kind of keep quiet. They don't say anything negative, nothing positive, but they kind of go with the tide. So if the Cowboys start bad, they're going to go to the negative side. If the Cowboys start winning, then they're gonna flip and they're gonna get on the positive side. They're kind of go here and there. That's just the way it goes. And then you've got the negative fans. Now the negative fans are just going to be negative no matter what. Now, I don't think Ultra is that. I think Ultra is kind of, he's tough love. I think Ultra is a tough love fan where he's going to be hard on some guys that might be deservingly. I mean, he said a lot of bad things about Tolbert, but I mean, if you look on paper, you can't argue with it. He didn't play. He was a third round pick. I mean, you expect to get some production on there. So he was disappointed in that. And Dak Prescott, he's hard on Dak in January. I mean, he was pretty much about him in January. So we'll see what happens. Dak Prescott turns it around and he wins Ultra's love. Ultra's like that tough dad that you had when you grew up with, where you always had to, you worked your whole life to impress him. You worked your whole life to get him to say he loves you, to get that appreciation. That's what Ultra's he's an old soul. That's kind of where he's at. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm supposed to be positive with all of that. I want to know how Eagle fans are so positive when it took them 50 plus years to win their first Super Bowl. How did you guys stay so positive? That's the question I want from Bobby. Bobby, tell me 52 years how the Eagle fans were able to stay so positive. And they finally got one. That's what I really would love to hear. And it's been 5 years. So, I mean, how long are we riding that? You tell us not to live in the past, but you keep living in the past. Let's live in today. That's why all these haters talk about the Cowboys. Say, man, the Cowboys, you guys just live in the past. You live in the past. Well, fucking you're living in the past too. You're talking about a Super Bowl 5 years ago. I mean, who was your quarterback? Was Hurts your quarterback on that Super Bowl win? Is any player on that team? You got some old ass Graham. You got a couple old guys. Kelsey might have been out. You got a couple old guys out. You got 4 guys on that team. You acting like you guys were some dynasty. The thing I'll say about the Cowboys, when it happens, they're dynasties. They win multiple Super Bowls. They go back multiple times and win. That's the difference in our little brother, the Eagles, and being the big brother. That's the way it goes. Now, the Eagle fans might not like it, but they will learn to love it. So you were in the Super Bowl last season and lost. That's the problem with Eagle fans. You're satisfied with losing. If that makes you jump up and you're doing backflips, have at it, my brother. Have at it. You got one Super Bowl win. Bottom line. And I love the Eagle fans because they're going to ride that damn Super Bowl. They're going to ride that thing until the end. You didn't hear shit from an Eagle fan for years till they finally won one. They were always the little orphan in the NFC East, and they still are the little orphan. They haven't even gotten past Washington. They haven't gotten past New York. They still can't get past the Cowboys. They're always going to be that little guy that just coming up. Please, just show me. It's why they go on Cowboys and Giants and Washington, podcasts, because they want attention. They're like that, and then you slap them a couple times. Yeah, just like you did your little brother. That's what we do. The Eagles come up. Hey guys, remember me? Slap you around a little bit. That's what we do. So anyway, you're fun. I love Eagle fans, and I have a lot of Eagle fans. So it's a lot of my friends are. So it's always good. So anyway. That and that's, see, Ultra's like me. See, that's the problem. I would probably venture to say Bobby's a young guy. He's probably, millennial or whatever that age group is, where, when my son played sports, it was like, everyone got the same size trophy. I mean, we just throw that trophy. If you didn't win, the trophy goes in the garbage. You don't deserve no trophy. Trophies are for winners. Medals are for winners. So we didn't brag about third place, second place, fifth place, eighth place. That's the problem with Eagle fans. They want a ribbon. I mean, they're probably putting a division championship banner up in their stadium. The problem with us is if we did that, 1, I'd be embarrassed. 2, it would take up the whole stadium. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Yeah, no, that's a problem. Happy they lost the Super Bowl. I mean, I would be devastated. I would never want to bring that up. I would never, ever want to say, well, at least, we lost, but we went to the Super Bowl. I mean, I would be like, all right, yeah, we won the NFC. I would probably say we won the NFC division championship. I don't know if I wouldn't even bring up the Super Bowl. I'd be too embarrassed. So anyway, so we'll see what happens. And you go there. And San Francisco, they beat us in the playoffs. I mean, hats off to them. Their defense shut us down. It wasn't their offense, my brother. It wasn't their offense. And that's just the way it is. But get your participation ribbon. Bobby, you message me, I'll get one made up for you because that's the kind of guy I am. I will make you up a little ribbon that says second place on it. That way you can put it in your Eagles cave. Because I'd love for you to do that. So anyway, the Cowboys were home watching. They were watching you guys get your ass kicked. That's what we were watching. We were watching your quarterback fumble the ball for no reason. He wasn't even touched. I mean, how the hell does that happen? Is it pressure got too much to him? Pressure got to him. Pressure got to my man. And I like Jalen Hurts. I liked him out of college. I thought he's a good kid who showed a lot of poise in some tough situations with Alabama, getting benched for Tua, and then going over to Oklahoma, putting his career together. So I got nothing. I don't hate on that, but it sucks. It sucks. But anyway, so we'll see what happens. But it's going to be a fun season. You can see the hype is starting. We're getting this shit rolling. So you guys make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the share. We're getting this thing going. I'll be back on Monday night. I'm going to enjoy a little bit of the Sunday. You know, the weather hopefully will be good. They're talking about some hurricane or something coming up the Gulf Coast, but it always misses Tampa. We got good vibes here, so we're not going to have any worries with that. So I appreciate all of you guys. I see a lot of new people on there. Can't thank you all enough for jumping in, hanging out in the cave. This is always a good time. Make sure you check us back on Monday. We got a lot of shows rolling, so whenever you can pop in the cave, just make sure that you do it. Oh, we got a question. Do I like Dak calling the plays? I thought he did a good job calling the plays, and like McCarthy said, I talked about a little bit earlier, it kept him in the game, kept him focused. And I told you, he did a better job than Kellen Moore. So I can't hate on that. 103 in Texas. Make sure that temperature goes down September 17th. It's hot in Florida, but it ain't that hot there. So make sure you guys do that. So anyway, I appreciate it. It's a good thing. Yeah, Jerry, I guess he didn't understand. I'll talk longer. Jerry Jones was going to draft Jalen. I would have drafted Jalen Hurts. I have no issues with him. I like Jalen Hurts. I got no problem with it. You guys are the ones that have the problem with Jalen Hurts because you wanted to bring in Russell Wilson. Your front office wanted to do it, and they couldn't get it done. They couldn't get a deal done, but they wanted it because they didn't believe in Jalen Hurts. Your fan base didn't believe in Jalen Hurts. You guys bitched and moaned when they drafted Jalen Hurts. You guys said Carson Wentz is better than Jalen Hurts. You guys dogged him for years, and now you want to ride as you know what? I mean, come on, man. Who you talking to? This ain't no amateur hour here. Give me a break. Give me an absolute break with you guys. I know Philly fans. You guys hated his ass. You wanted him out of there. Carson Wentz was your savior. Don't be bullshitting me. And you wanted Russell Wilson. And you guys dogged your cornerback when he was going to leave, and then he came back, and then you guys love him again. You guys are the most bullshit fan base I ever seen. Oh, you were always on her. Yeah, you're bullshit. Bullshit. That's what I'm telling you. So don't give me this crap. If you're on a podcast, show me the video where you weren't riding Wentz's jock. Show me the video where you weren't begging for Russell Wilson to come to Philly because you didn't believe in Jalen Hurts. Don't give me that bullshit. You guys, I don't know who you think you're talking to. So anyway, that's what I love to do, guys. You guys, hey, I gotta hit roll. I gotta get rolling. I'm heading up to my pops for some lunch, some Italian cuisine or something like that. Hopefully they got something good for me. So I'm gonna have to roll out, but I appreciate it. Thanks for hopping in. I hope to see you guys again when we're live again on either Monday or Tuesday. We're doing our draft. If you guys are fantasy football guys, come check out the Fantasy Football Show. It's 4 dudes. One's a Cowboy hater, so my man Bobby will love him, but we have a good time and definitely see it. Until then, the hype videos only about a week and a half away, so make sure you guys get ready. I've been soaking all the hate, soaking all the love in, and we're going to make this thing happen. So I appreciate it. You guys have a great Sunday.
The Eagles getting ready, because you might not like it, but you will learn to love it because we are the best thing going today. Now can you dig it?